Good morning, students. Hope you all are doing good, and I'm welcoming you again to the LOL Virtual English Online class. Today, we are going to study about verbs. Verb is an important part of speech in a sentence. It is an important word class which helps the sentence to be sensible and complete. Without a verb, a sentence would be incomplete. So let's study what are verbs and what are the different types of verbs. What is a verb? A verb is a word that indicates action or a state of being or condition. A verb is a part of a sentence that tells us what the subject performs. Verbs are the hearts of English sentence. A verb is also called as doing verbs. Verbs can express physical actions. Example, swimming, writing. Let's take us this example. The doctor wrote the prescription. In this example, the word wrote is a verb. It expresses the physical activity to write. The verbs can express mental actions also. Let's take the example. Peter guessed the right number. The word guessed is a verb. It expresses the mental activity to guess. Verbs can express a state of being also. For example, it was a joke. The word was is a verb from the verb to be. Let's take this example of verb. The first example. The director squished his nose. So the director is doing the action. And what action he is doing? He is squishing his nose. The director is squishing his nose. Again, the director is performing an action. So this becomes an action word. Now let's take the third example. His nose is big. Now this is a condition. You cannot change it. You cannot alter it. His nose is big. It is a state of being. So is also a verb. So today we are going to study different types of verbs. That is action verbs, linking verbs, and helping verbs. So let's get started. So what is an action verb? An action verb expresses an activity that a person or thing can do. It tells us what the subject is doing. A subject could be a noun or a pronoun. What action is being performed by the subject as noun or pronoun. Let's take this example. The farmer feeds the chickens. What action the farmer is doing? He is feeding the chicken. So feed becomes action verb over here. Now let's take the other example. He likes the red rooster best. Now likes is not an action verb. It is a mental state. So it is a mental activity. But it is a verb that he is liking the red rooster. We have many examples of action verbs on the screen now. Cuffed, write, ran, swallowed, sang, awake. If you link it with a noun or a pronoun, you can frame a sensible sentence showing the action performed by a subject. Rita coughed loudly in the hall. What action did she perform? Of coughing. We ran fast in the race. We ran fast in the race. What is the action verb over here? Ran. We are performing an action of running. They sang their choir song melodiously. So what action they're performing? They sang. It's in past tense. So they already did the action of singing their choir songs. So now we are going to study about linking verbs. Are linking verbs same as like action verbs? Do they perform actions, or are they a state of being or condition? What are linking verbs? Linking verbs are verbs that serve as a connection between a subject and further information about that subject. They do not show any action. Rather, they link the subject with the rest of the sentence. The verb to be is the most common linking verb. Is, am, are, was, were. They all are linking verbs. They link the subject with the predicate, or they give us more information about the subject in the form of adjective. Let's take the example. She is a nurse. She is a nurse. The linking verb over here is nurse. It is telling the condition of she being a nurse. The moon is in outer space. Again, it is denoting us the condition of the moon, that it is in the outer space. So is the linking verb, which is connecting the predicate with the subject. So let's study in more detail how does linking verb functions. Let's take the first example. Ice cream is my favorite dessert. Okay, what is the linking verb over here? Is, and is the condition, is the mental state of a person that ice cream is my favorite dessert. Let's take the other example. This water tastes funny. Over here, the linking verb is taste. It is connecting the predicate with the subject. It is giving us information about the subject in the form of adjective being funny. So when the predicate functions as an adjective to a subject, that verb becomes a linking verb in a sentence. The report cards were terrible. Again, the word were is linking the adjective with the subject, that the report cards were terrible. So verb becomes the linking verb. So now we are going to study the third type of verbs, that is helping verbs. Now what are helping verbs? Helping verbs are verbs that help the main verb in a sentence by extending its meaning. They can also add detail to how time is conveyed in a sentence. There are many helping verbs which can be used in a sentence to denote the present, past, future tense. Now there are 23 helping verbs in grammar, but they do not have any meaning of their own. They are necessary for grammatical structure of a sentence. We usually use helping verbs with main verbs. They help the main verbs to do an action. Okay, so this is a very new word for us, infinitive. What is an infinitive? Any verb that is preceded by the word to is an infinitive. To love, to eat, to run, to believe, to love. They all are called infinitive. They look like verb, but they are not verb. They are called infinitives. Transitive verbs. Now what are transitive verbs? When an action is transferred from the subject to the object, it becomes transitive verb. It always answers the question what. Let's take the example. Sarah baked a cake. Now what is the verb over here? Baked. Let's ask the question. Sarah baked what? A cake. So it transferring the action of baking to a cake. So this verb becomes transitive verb because the subject is passing the action to a cake. Intransitive verb. Intransitive verb is totally the opposite of transitive verb. In intransitive verb, you do not have direct object. It does not answer the question what. The action is just passed from the subject to indirect object. Let's take the example. The pilot landed carefully. Is it answering the question what landed? No. But how it landed? It landed carefully. So over here the action is transferred to indirect object. It is not answering the question what. So landed becomes intransitive verb. There's a small activity based here on transitive and intransitive where you have to identify whether the verb is transitive or intransitive, and it's very easy. The simple question you need to ask the verb to determine whether it's transitive is what. When it gives you the answer to what, it becomes transitive. When it does not give the answer to what, it becomes intransitive. Enjoy doing this activity. Hope you have learned a lot about verbs and its type, and this will enable to use the verb constructively and make your sentences as well as writing skills more expressionable and impressionable. Thank you.